is when you guys know who's coming to the show, I can put your photo over on the right as one of the panelists. So can you pick me a nice image for that?
Sure.
All right. Hey, guys. Show's already started. So let's start the theme.
This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield. This is how it is today. Today on Pop Culture Minefield.
I love that theme. Damn it. Woo! So I don't know if I told everybody, but James, Keith's brother, loves Keith's theme so much. He asked me if I could do a longer version. I said, yeah, I wrote it. So yeah, I can do a longer version of it. So I did about a 3-minute long song and sent it to him for his birthday. Fucker hasn't thanked me yet.
Sorry, bastard.
Son of a bitch. I love James. I love all of Keith's brothers, man. They're great people. And I tell you, having them in my life has enriched it greatly. So I'm pouring me something to drink right now, if you guys don't mind.
Hey, we got a good shot of your ear. It's awesome.
Well, covered ear. So welcome, guys. Monday morning. Anima's like asking, why are you so up so early? I'm like, I got shit to do. Talking to you isn't one of them. Of course, I love talking to her in the morning. So anyway, guys, it is Military Monday, a day where we look at films and because I'm the host, we look at them from a military veteran's perspective. Joining me as a fellow veteran, my buddy Joe's Atmosphere. I always emphasize the word fear.
As well you should.
And pictures in the background there, his family, his dad. That's his dad in a drill sergeant hat there. And we forgive him for being an MP. Military
Not
prick.
for everybody, man. Takes pride, integrity, and guts to do that job. Okay.
Yes, it does. I tease you, but I know how important MPs are.
Yeah, your brother's one, isn't
he? My brother Michael was, yeah. Mm-hmm. He was. He served from 78 through 80. Yeah, 82. 82.
He did really? 4 years. He got out right when I was getting in. Yeah.
Yeah, he did 4 years active, and then he did 4 years reserve. So he left active duty at 82, and he stayed in the reserves until 88.
Yeah, as it says right there, I was 83 to 86, and then I did Louisiana State National Guard, so I wouldn't have to pay tuition at Louisiana State schools for 3 more years. Yeah.
Let's see. So I need to get over, because apparently nobody knows our show is live yet. So I'm going to go over on Twitter, and Facebook and promote.
The twit? I shall do the same, sir. I shall do the same.
Well, it's important that we do, like on our official pages.
Right.
Oh my God, the Amish are pro-Trump. Oh my God, a video just popped up from Elon Musk showing these horse-drawn carriages with Trump and American flags. I don't know why that's so ridiculous to me.
Throwing back America.
Don't get me wrong. I love the Amish, but My God, I've got stories to tell you. When I lived in St. Roberts, not St. Roberts, fuck, I just forgot the name of the town. It's not far from here. Hold on, let me do this, and then I'll tell that story.
Yeah.
Ooh, I should do that on TGIF. Never mind. I'm going to save this story for TGIF.
There you go. There you go.
Oh man.
And we have Sci-Fi Bombi in the chat.
Hey,
Meth.
Mombi. Who?
Meth.
Oh,
Mephisto.
Mephisto. Why isn't he joining us?
Ask him, not me.
I'm asking you to ask him.
No. I don't know. He's in the military Monday group, right?
He should be.
It could be. Yeah. I think he is.
Yeah, let me send one directly to him. Oh, he says he didn't watch the movie. That's an excuse. Man, come here. Can join. Okay.
Okay, what is the name of this new film by Christopher Nolan starring Tom Holland, Matt Damon? There's a poster, but nowhere on the poster is the name of the fucking movie.
They don't have a name for it yet. It's an untitled vampire mystery movie or some shit.
Hold on, I'm saving this thing. I'm going to post it here on the show. Let me finish doing what I'm doing here. This is stupid. What the fuck?
See, this is how you know it's Monday, because Gerry is still collating stuff for the entire week as we start the broadcast.
Oh, I'm constantly collating. Is Anima here? I haven't heard her pipe up once.
She's muted. If she is.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Because I said something about you and you didn't respond.
Sorry, what did you say?
I'm not going to repeat my fucking self. I compartmentalized.
Damn.
I said, I don't know. I made some snarky remark about, like, you asked me, like, why did you get up so early? And I'm like, well, it wasn't to talk to you. And then I said something sweet where I said, no, I love talking to my girlfriend early in the morning. I always let her know when I'm up. And still, she's not remarking or anything.
Oh,
right.
What do you want me to say?
Aw, or oh,
Wow.
something like that. Just make some sort of girl sound.
Next
Like
time.
that you really liked. I said something sweet. God damn. Brutal. This is what happens when you fall in love with a Germanic woman.
Fuck you,
She's
Gerry.
as cold as ice.
No, I'm not.
He's willing to sacrifice our love.
love.
Yeah, man. Foreigner 4. One of the greatest pop rock albums.
That's not on Foreigner 4. That's on.
Oh wait, no, it's earlier. That's Foreigner.
It might be their self-titled debut. No, it might be Double Division. Let me check.
I think it's Double Vision. Check and see.
I'm doing. If only there were a way that I could look it up and find out about it. Let's see. Oh, look, I don't need to donate to you, Wiki. Half your shit's wrong.
Yeah, the thing that pisses me off about Wikipedia is that people can go in there and edit and change things.
Yes, they
the
can.
way they do, and it's not reliable. I got banned from editing certain things on there because it was
Actually, it is from their debut album, Foreigner. It is.
Foreigner. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just remember it came out when I was a kid.
When you said Foreigner 4, I was like, no. That's way earlier than that. I'm a huge fan of Foreigner. They're my favorite rock band ever. So, yeah.
I won't say that they're my favorite rock band ever. They're in my top 10 list.
I hear you.
Genesis technically, I guess, is my favorite rock band, even though it's alternative rock, or not alternative. What's the word I'm looking for? Progressive rock.
Yeah.
And I am a fan of prog rock. I really am. Beatles is in there. Pink Floyd. I'm drawing a blank right now because I know there's more on my list.
There's a bunch of rock bands I dig, but Foreigner is the one that I could listen to on a loop for the end of all time. I never get tired of it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Peter Gabriel, but he's not rock. He's prog rock. I don't know what to call
Peter
him.
Gabriel's awesome.
I call him world rock fusion.
Yeah.
Because he mixes world music with rock. And some of his early shit, man, that stuff's punk. That's why Primus is such a big fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. I knew he was the lead singer of Genesis. That's the beginnings of what I know about him. That he had a costume closet about as big as Elton John's. And,
his shit was nuts, dude. He suffered from social anxiety, and to overcome his fears, he would dress up. But the problem was, like, that one mask he wore went over his face. So good luck fucking hearing him through the microphone.
Right.
But he was doing this, like, what was it? The Carpet Crawlers in particular. He would dress up, and one version of it, you couldn't hear him through the microphone.
Wow.
He did. There's a photo. I swear to God, I love that photo. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Of Genesis. Early, when Phil was just really kicking in, and Peter went and got a weird haircut that I will explain once I see it.
He's weird, period. But the good kind of weird. Just, makes you think. I love his video for Sledgehammer with the stop motion animation and everything.
Well, he was so ahead of his time using some of that stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In fact, he is. A lot of people don't know this. You know those that ride that you go into, and it's hydraulically moving your seats and shit inside. You're watching a video, and you're moving with the video. He was an investor in that.
Wow. Now every theme park uses that in some way, shape, or form, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when they first started doing shit with that, he was at the head of it because he did Kiss the Frog live ride.
Wow.
So you could actually watch the video, and remember in the video it's moving around and shit.
Yeah.
You're moving with the camera.
Frog,
it was pretty incredible.
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, people describe him as strange, but I always said good kind of strange because that can be misconstrued as bad, Because look, Sledgehammer was a huge hit, but if you don't know what that song's about, it's not for everybody. It's kind of a little risque, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, Pete, I've always dug. I loved his first mainstream.
Oh, The Who. There you go.
Shock the Monkey.
You said Pete, made me think of Pete Townsend.
There you go. The Who.
That's another great rock band I love.
Mm-hmm. I use Eminence Front on half the shorts that I put together to promote my shows. I love Eminence Front. That's probably my favorite Who song ever. Love that tune.
Eminence Front.
Yeah.
It's an eminence front. It's a put on.
I thought for a long time,
I fucking love that song too.
That was about the time that Pete started doing his own stuff.
Baby, let's fuck.
And I thought
Baby, let's fuck.
That was...
A lot of people think that's what they're saying. In
Bye monetization.
I used to think that was a solo by Pete Townsend. And
Eminence Front?
Yeah. That's a Who tune. But I thought for a long time that it was him on his own because around that time it was the early '80s. He was starting to do his own thing. So,
he's got a good voice.
Oh yeah, he does. He sings that song. He's awesome.
First, here's the photo I'm talking about. look at Phil Collins looking over at Peter Gabriel's haircut because he had just walked up with that fucking inverted mohawk.
Yeah.
And Phil's just looking over like, what the hell?
What the hell did you do to your head? I'm going bald and you're trying to? What the hell are you doing?
And for those of you who don't know who that guy is over on the right, that's Steve Hackett. Great fucking rock guitarist. He put out an album that is still one of my favorite albums, Hackett to Bits, when he left Genesis.
Bits. Nice. What a great title.
And here's the new Christopher Nolan film with Tom Holland and Matt Damon and no title.
You sure that's not a fan-made thing? Because the movie that they're making is supposed to take place in the 1920s. So I believe that might be fan-made.
If it is, they're an idiot too because they didn't put the title on it.
Right.
It's a cool looking poster though.
Yeah, it is. It's tough looking. Yeah, for sure.
We go. It's over on Midnight's Edge.
Yeah.
Let me go over there real quick.
Because
once again, I will point out proudly, I am a senior moderator over on Midnight's Edge. I remember one day somebody was trying to start a fight with me, and somebody commented, going, "You know, he can ban you from this group for some of the shitties." And I'm like, "Hey, man, I can stand my ground. I don't mind, you know, somebody trying to take swings at me. I wait and I give them a good old knockout punch. That's how I've always done it. Swing away, burn yourself out, and then enjoy the outcome." Right. So, Obi Ejikimi, who's a regular over there, he's one of them that I get the most complaints about when he makes posts. Because they're either sexy or something with girls. And people complain.
I'm looking back through my thread with my articles for our pop culture show to the article. I'll let you know what I find. But I'm pretty sure it's a 1920s vampire movie.
Okay, what's being said here is that they're remaking Airwolf.
What?
Or Blue Thunder.
Me. Oh well. That's bound to happen.
And of course, the ironic part is it's going to be a left-made movie by people who are the ones who are actually doing the things that they're complaining about in the movie.
Right.
Well, the helicopter in the poster looks more like Airwolf.
It does to me, too. I don't know, man. It doesn't say anything whether it's legit or not, but a couple other people made the same joke I did. Title? Anyone?
Now, they have those emblems that they have on their chest are police one or what?
Yeah, those are badges.
So is Blue Thunder.
I got a feeling you're probably right. I hope they don't fucking get all lefty in the movie. That's all I hope. I'm just so tired of it.
Most probably in the second act, they're going to get defunded and they will have no fuel for the chopper.
You know, the one thing I got to say, that, you know, because John Carpenter was a hardcore Democrat, okay? And all of his films were based off of his Democrat fears of what Republicans were going to do. And even though, ironically, the things that he feared were the things that were actually being done by Democrats. But that's not what I was impressed by with him, is that you would not know his fucking politics by watching his movie. You could be of any political persuasion or belief and still enjoy Escape from New York, Assault on Precinct 13. They Live, which was a huge anti-Reagan film. But you don't know that.
Yeah.
He doesn't fucking make it obvious.
This is from Hollywood Reporter. It says that the plot details are being kept under wraps, but the sources say the setting is not present day, although it's unclear whether it's set in the past or the future. And I did read another article.
That's sure present looking equipment.
It sounds like
Right.
They
And
just wanted to make a movie together, and they have no idea of what. But we're going to work together.
I'll keep looking for where I read it at. It was either in Variety or Deadline, but I think it said something about a 1920s vampire movie. Because my brother even commented, "Oh, really? Another vampire movie?" Whenever I put the article up. So
You know, there's right now they just released before the big one this Christmas another Nosferatu film, and it's got
really,
it's got the dude just forgot his name, big tall skinny guy in Star Trek Discovery,
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones as the vampire.
Well,
And it
he was
was-
the master in.
Which
what
looked
we
like
do in the show.
Nosferatu, exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I love that character. He's like he
Yeah.
ends up getting like killed, but he's brought back a little bit. He's in parts, like parts are missing. I fucking love that show, man.
Oh, have you seen the new season yet?
No, because I'm waiting for somebody.
Oh well.
I'm waiting for somebody.
What are you waiting for? We're watching stuff
Who
all
could
the
you be
time. We have
thinking
so
of?
much to watch.
Listen
We're
to
back
her.
to
She's,
just having a couple of hours every day.
she's
I like
so
being in the same
dramatic
time
right now,
zone.
snapping
Fuck
at
off.
me. Value papers. I love you, baby. I'm teasing you.
Yeah.
Trying to get you in a good mood. So you're in one of those moods, and I can tell.
I'm having a
I'm
rough
not a
day, I'm
fan of
sorry.
some of Nolan's script stories, but visually he is great. Look, Tom, there's always something to glean from his movies. Like his first film, Following, it's a low-budget college film. It's actually really good.
I like it.
Memento was experimental in the way he did it. I think it got a little more clever than he should have. Somebody asked me, "Did you ever see the corrected time edit?" The fan
Why
did.
would you want to watch it that way, man?
I
Oh.
did. I watched it and I'm like going, still a good story. But the way he shot the film, Anima, if you've never seen it, is the movie is going backwards. Even though you're watching, each scene is moving forward, it leads to a scene that took place before it and before that one and before that until you get to the very
The whole
beginning.
movie's told
And-
backwards in 10-minute segments. It's
Yep.
pretty wild.
It's really clever with what he did, and it's heartbreaking when you find out what happened at the end.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Don't ruin it for her, but yeah, the revelation.
No, I want her to see it.
Whoa.
I think it's a good film.
The premise in which you start the movie is already heartbreaking, and then you got that ending, and you go, "Fuck, it's even worse."
Right.
You really do. It's that. Oh, fuck! I went to see that with Mac, and Mac loved it too. We were like, "That is a really well-made film." Of course not, Mephisto, because you're such a whiny bitch about movies. If you were here, you wouldn't be such a whiny bitch. So I'm going to tease you.
Let the man alone. He's minding his children.
You know better than that. He's gonna.
I know,
troll him
he's-
until he shows up.
He's daddy sitting right now, being a good dad. I like that. We love you, Mephisto. You're a good dude. You're a good friend. But I do like Nolan has a problem.
Whoa!
He thinks he's smarter than he actually is. And
Yeah.
that is why I tell people the reason why his movie, the time travel one, what was it called?
Tenet, and it's
Tenet.
not time travel.
It is, if you think about it, because time is involved with it. And you've got moments that are going this way on clocks and passing each other. And so there is time involved with it. And there's no other way of phrasing it than saying that it is a time travel film, but not in the context of what you normally think is time travel, like Terminator or anything like that. But what you've got is a neat sci-fi film that becomes completely muddied down and convoluted because he overthought things. And he overthinks. And it's his intelligence is his greatest strength, but his overthinking is his greatest weakness. And Tenet suffered because of that. He overthought things in that. Instead of trying to just tell a really solid story, he focused on all the science and he lost people. But I still was fascinated by the aspects of like somebody asked me, well, who was the twinkly vampire guy? Who was he?
The what?
And I said, it's easy. If you pay attention, that's the kid. He's the kid. Her son. And I loved that. Once I figured that out, I was like, oh, it's like the other film he did with the spinning top at the end.
Inception.
And he said, yeah, but it begins to wobble at the end. Doesn't matter. That's not his totem.
Right.
The ring was his totem.
Mm-hmm.
That was her
guys.
totem.
Gonna bring it in. Now, this
Legendary
movie,
pictures.
I liked the military aspect of this movie.
Me too, because I'm going to let you know right up front, you have 3 people who have worked directly, and 2 of them were trained by Dale Dye. And so the military advisor on this also worked with Dale Dye. So this film should acknowledge Dale Dye. Because Max Martini and James Badge Dale were both very well trained by Dale Dye. And both said that having been trained by Dale Dye changed their lives and changed how they deal with their careers, because they go with more of a military attitude because of what Dale taught them. And I like that. I like that. So, but the film doesn't give a thank you to Dale Dye because that would be silly. But at the same time, it should.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got some definite Aliens vibes in this, and
there's a little bit of that. This is really straightforward science fiction, military science fiction, which is one of my favorite subgenres of science fiction. It's military science fiction, and it's like people go, "All you ever write is this, that, and the other thing," and I'm like, "No, I've written science fiction." And I've written comedies, but the fact I've written horror. And I have a book that Richard Bonk and I worked on that I plan to have him finish drawing called Earth Wars. And it's the first chapter in an ongoing series. And it will be, I think it's 44 or 46 pages long. And the first 20 are amazing looking, the pages he drew. But we got to get financing for it. So we open on this soldier, and I got to be honest, I was a little thrown by this because why is he alone?
Oh, I think he was sole survivor.
Well, that's what it is, but they don't really make that clear at first. And then he's told to hold his position, and he says, "No, I'm moving." He says, "I got to move." And I couldn't understand, structurally, story-wise, why he had to move. And this is a moment of Deus Ex Machina, where you make a character do something that really, when you stop about it, doesn't make sense. Why he doesn't wait for support. I got to move now. Well, why do you got to move now? They don't explain why he's got to move now. So he does move now. And he gets killed by something.
Not only that, he could have gotten killed without having to relocate the character.
Exactly. They could have just had him go, "I don't know. I think I'm being followed. I think I'm being followed." Like, you get that feeling. You know when you're being followed. That would have been the smarter way of showing that. And I'm telling you this as a writer. It's when you put something in there like this, it becomes that this is where it becomes Deus Ex Machina, where you're making a character do something that makes no sense in order to push the story forward. And that is the very definition of what that is.
Or like you like to say, because the writer wants to.
Yeah, because the writer wanted to.
Exactly. Gerry, I'm sending this to you. I'm sending this to you in a private message on X.
Oh, dick
I
pics.
found it. It's according to Games Radar. It's in the headline and everything.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, I know.
They're the worst. Look, man, journalism is dead.
I know.
And they've got some of the worst writers of there. I'm not
And
going
they
to call them
say in it that
journalists.
it's a rumor that from a reliable source. So there you go.
So this probably is a fake.
Could be, but it's in the headline and everything. So there you go. That's where I got it from.
I need to go to
figure out
Twitter
where-
real quick anyway, because I know Chris Braley is supposed to be messaging me, and he has not responded yet. All right. Let me
Yeah,
just
and that
give him my
opening
email.
scene, they can't figure out what that wisp of smoke is, but it's obvious to the audience that it's got a human form there right at the last second when it attacks him. Yeah. And we don't know what kills him, but he saw a couple of bodies with their eyes whited out and their flesh kind of, I don't know how to describe it, grayed out and it's weird. looking.
Crispy.
Yeah, they're these things flash freeze them. Absolutely, Tom Baker, and that is why it is on top of my list of favorite screenplays and films that inspired me to do what I do. I'll give you the name of another screenplay that I really liked. Lorenzo Simple Jr., Batman. That's right. 1966 Batman. And David Rayfield wrote 3 Days of the Condor. Another fantastic espionage thriller screenplay. Lorenzo Simple was actually a very good writer, by the way. So this is kind of neat. They're creating a weapon that if you set it one way, it can flash freeze, or if you set it another way, you can absolutely burn
No,
it.
it doesn't flash. It's a concentrated microwave instead of
Concentrated
being
microwaves, but he says the way that it uses the weapon, that you can freeze something or boil it, instant boil, the way they were talking about it. I'm just repeating what they said within the story.
What I thought was interesting is that the scientist is actually being told that it's going to be weaponized, and he actually was developing it for another reason.
no.
But
That
Wait,
was
it was
interesting.
a weapon. From the beginning, it was a weapon. It was a deterrent weapon.
Right.
It's like the
Defensive
machine
weapon.
that they use in Batman Begins. It was an water supply evaporator. Yeah, you know what happens when you point that shit to things
Right.
that are 70% water.
Right. What my point is, they're actually being open with the engineer about what it's going to be used for. And
Well,
Yeah,
they have,
unlike what
they
they-
have a defense
what they
contract
did
with
in-
DARPA, so
unlike what they did with True Genius or Real Genius.
right,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
in fact, the protagonist, he designed the vehicles, he designed the armor that the soldiers are wearing, he designed everything for combat, and now I don't like to make weapons. The fuck?
Then why are you working here? Why are you working for DARPA?
Well, he says, I was making this as a defensive weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive, offensive. There's
Yeah.
very little difference.
Come on.
In fact, defense
And of
weapons
course, you
tend to be
recognize
more
who that
destructive.
is. You recognize who that is, right? The guy talking to him.
Don't know his name, but I have seen it plenty.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody know his name?
I don't know his name. Last time I saw him was in the movie television show True Blood. I saw him on there. Seen him a bunch of places. He's a really good character actor though. It's really good.
His name is Stephen. Oh fuck! It's
Hang on,
His name,
I'm looking it up right now.
His name is Robert Paulson.
Stephen Root.
Stephen Root.
It's Stephen
Yes.
Root. And
Mhm.
God, he's all over the place. He was Jimmy James on news radio, which my dad, before he died, that was his favorite TV show of all time, news radio. And Jimmy James was his all-time favorite character. Jimmy James. His favorite episode with Jimmy James was the one when he has his book biography translated into Japanese, and then it becomes such a hit in Japan, he has it translated back into English from the Japanese because he didn't have a copy of the original book. And it comes back with some of the weirdest lines, like the monkey lion showed much prowess before eating the monkey. And it's like, he's like, I don't know what this book says. I really don't understand this book. I can't send this video to Yukon. And this is something that they end up, because what he's got is an emitter that fires a weapon, but he uses the same technology for the goggles, spectral goggles. And Spectral has to do a spectrum. And that's how they are able to see these. Dodgeball, yes. Office Space. God, he's good at everything he's into.
I
Yeah.
like how the title makes a subtle wordplay, because you have the spectral about the spectrum of light, but besides you have the relation to the word specter, that these enemies
Exactly.
looks like specters.
And it's spectral. And I like the title of the film. And I actually do think that this film should have been made into two films. I think that the movie, 1 hour in, that should have been the end of the movie. And then they should have let in with what they need to do next. And will they survive to get there? Well, you'll need to see the next movie for that. So It felt like there were two movies in here. And that was one of the things I was like, ooh, I think they made a mistake here. And it was a hit on Netflix. News radio. And a young Joe Rogan who is basically playing himself on the show. All of his shit that he does and says was pretty much Joe Rogan at the time, because Joe's talked about that.
The show I remember him from is True Blood. He was on there. He was on the West Wing too. He was. He's done a lot of television.
And he's just a really good, solid actor. One of my favorite roles he ever played was the blind studio manager in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh my God, how great is that? Yes. Can you sing in that can? Yeah, he's awesome.
Well, yes, sir, I think I can. I fucking love that movie. And the irony of that movie is it is basically a retelling of the Odyssey.
Homer's Odyssey, yep.
Homer's Odyssey.
Got the sirens in it and everything.
Cocksuckers never fucking read it. and they did a really fantastic job. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
John Goodman is the Cyclops with the eye patch. I fucking love that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That whole movie's great, man. Love it. Too fun. That moment when they go to sing on stage and they find out they're a hit is just fucking fantastic, man. The look on Clooney's face. He is so great at comedy, dude. He's just awesome. God.
And the other two actually do a good job singing.
Yeah.
I wanted to post this up here. Loki's Morning of Mischief is here. One of our other very good friends, one of the people I love very much. Anima loves him too. And look at this panel of villains. And let's not forget the villainous Anima either.
Thank you, I guess.
It
I
is
couldn't
your
watch
villainous.
Loki's show last week because we already dropped out of daylight savings and the US guys hadn't last week. So the show was an hour early. And that was 1 hour before my lunch hour. So I missed all his shows last week. Looking forward to going back.
Now, Anima, I have a question for you before we proceed on this film. What did you think of the acting in this? Did you like Max Martini and James Badge Dell in the lead roles?
Yeah, course I do. They're good.
The other guy that really is good is Sergeant Toll, played by Clayne Crawford, a guy who absolutely was maligned and his career damaged by Damon Wayans and the network, executive producers on what was that show called? Lethal Weapon. I didn't want to watch the
that's
show.
him, isn't it? Yeah.
Clayne, not him. That's James Badge Dale. But you'll see Clayne Crawford in there in this movie. And they've got a great cast, man. And Crawford's a very good actor. I really do like him.
I was wondering where I'd seen
But
the lead.
what did you think of the actors, honey?
I liked all of them. You know that. I enjoyed this movie.
You took a shine to Max Martini.
He's a handsome dude.
Yeah. He's like, oh my God, he's so tough. He's so rough and masculine.
Dude.
And I'm like,
I didn't say that. I just said he's handsome.
Is this your hall pass that we're talking about here?
That guy is the best part of the whole Pacific Rim.
Goddamn right he is. Don't get me wrong. I like the kid, the English kid from
the one who plays his son.
Yeah. I like him. He's good in the film, but Max Martini fucking owns the screen in that film.
And if you don't like Bruce Greenwood, there's just something wrong with you.
And he's the other one that's worked with Dale Dye, but he was a politician, a corrupt politician in Rules of Engagement.
Don't be redundant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
He was the best thing about the new Star Trek. His Pike was pretty damn awesome.
He doesn't look anything like Pike, but he's such a good actor.
Yeah, and he doesn't act like Pike.
And he's also the reason why I watched this latest season of Haunted Hill or whatever that show is, that Murphy wrote or whatever his fucking name is.
My wife is a big Nicolas Cage fan, and we were watching the sequel to National Treasure the other day with him as the president. Man, he's just good in everything he does. Yeah, he owns the role. You forget who he is for a second. That's how you know you got a good actor, when you forget you're looking at Bruce Greenwood and you're looking at the character. Yeah. So before we go any further, I want to point out that every single piece of equipment in this fucking movie is functional. Doesn't mean it does what it's supposed to do, but it's functional. The internals work. Weta is the one who did the effects for this movie and built all of the fucking props and costumes. The science fiction aspect of the uniforms they put on in the third act, that's all Weta. It's noticeable. Stuff. It's fantastic.
It's noticeable. When you can identify Weta manufactured props only by seeing it. Weta was involved in this. They have certain style that you see them, you recognize it immediately.
I sent a couple of videos to Anima last night. I hope she watched them. One of them is the Weta workshop showing how they built the props here. I'd like to show it here, but it's got music from the film in it. So if we show it, we have to show it without audio. Also, I sent her a video of Adam Savage getting one of the props from this film. And he got one of the rifles that they made.
Very cool.
So what Weta did was they decided to basically they followed the script and make everything look functional so they could pull things open. So when you pull things open, you have to have things in there that make sense. Like they have the right kind of lenses that would be used in something like this. They did their fucking due diligence and research. And they made everything in this moving parts. It's really fucking amazing. We'll show it at the end of the show because I was really impressed with what Weta did. This film should have had a sequel. The sequel should have been the third act. That should have been stretched into a much longer story with more character building.
Yeah, it seemed kind of forced there between the two parts, didn't it?
Yeah, because once you get to them surviving that fucking city, that's the end of the movie. That
You would
should have
think.
been the end of that film.
Yeah. And
And,
then the whole speech by Greenwood to get him going and everything, it seemed kind of contrived, that little bit of the movie. But the
Well,
parts on
it's
either
not
end
so
of
much
it were awesome. Yeah.
I agree with you on the first statement. Contrived, less contrived, more forced.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
It felt more forced, like you
Yeah.
said.
Mhm.
And I agree with that. And by the way, that camera, what he does, he has to open that up and flip it because right now it receives information. But what he ends up doing is creating it an ability. There he is. There's Clay Crawford
Mhm.
from Lethal Weapon. And
He's
he's a
gained some
very good
weight,
fucking
boy.
actor.
He's gained some weight since that show. He put on some muscle mass.
Well, this is before the show. This is
Oh,
Yeah,
is
before
it?
this was in
Lethal Weapon.
16.
Yeah.
This was
Really?
in 16, yeah.
He must have slimmed down then, because that guy looks like he's bigger than the dude on I saw on Lethal Weapon.
There he is again.
Well,
He's a major character in this story, and I
Yeah.
like his
Yeah.
character.
you see the guy from Bad Monkey, the corrupt cop.
Oh, that's right, he is. Oh
Yes.
shit. Yes, that's him. Holy shit, good eye. I didn't even catch that one.
No, we didn't catch that.
And he's the one who defends the doctor because everybody's against him and say, hey, this is the guy who made all the equipment that have saved your lives. So treat him well.
Right. Don't be busting on him. As
It
don't
seems
do
like he's a
with
civilian, and
civilians.
they are just uncool having a civilian with them. And it
Yeah.
seems that that's what he is.
Max Martini absolutely has a great military bearing. More than James Badgedale. James Badgedale, you know, his character was a good Marine in the Pacific, but he was torn by everything. So he's really good at playing torn characters. Whereas Martini looks like a fucking military guy. There's just a way that they hold themselves. And he got all of that. Go back and look at some of the shit he did before working for Dale Dye, and you'll see the change in how he stands, everything.
Yeah.
And he smokes like a chimney. So his voice is getting rougher and rougher through the years. He was just on Bosch one season where he plays a kind of a very bad guy, former cop, corrupt, politically motivated by racism. I think he's Mormon. I think that was the other part of it. And he
See, he's
has a
planning how
personal-
to fuck up Jancy.
So they're going on what they believe is a quick extraction mission. Little do they know that the writers have some other things waiting for them.
Hello.
That's what happens in my book, too. They go to find out why this World Health Organization clinic that's out in the Pacific Islands has gone silent. And they go there and find everybody dead, murdered. By whom or what?
You gotta love the government.
Hacked to pieces, by the way. In fact, one of my favorite moments, it's already drawn, is also in my screenplay, The Darker. The chunk of adipose tissue that a character kicks and it
Oh,
jiggles.
you had to put that in, right?
It's in both stories. And I'll probably put it in something again because I just find that story so fucking funny.
So
It's not just me, it's happened to other medics.
So instead of being the Cornetto trilogy, it's going to be the Fat of Chunk trilogy.
Adipose
The
tissue
Chunk of
trilogy.
Fat trilogy.
Chunk of fat. I like these vehicles. They remind me of the Strikers. The LAV2 Striker, made by Oh my God, I forgot the name. Something Dynamics.
Boston Dynamics or General Dynamics?
General Dynamics. Thank you. They opened, by the way, they opened a shop in Joplin where I was living. They have a company building there for manufacturing. They brought a lot of work to Joplin. That place needed it because it was still depressed when I was living there from the tornado destroying the whole town. They got really good movement here. I like their movement. The military advisor, like I said, is the guy who's worked directly with Del Dye, and the guy knows his business. Good weapon handling. What's that?
If I remember correctly, General Dynamics makes the F-16. If I remember correctly. I used to know all that kind of stuff
I'll look it up real quick.
before I
Yes,
got old.
they do. The F-16 Fighting Falcon. That's one of theirs. I was never a fan of the look of that fighter.
Yeah, it looks horrible, but fights like hell.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. I think they make the LAV-1 and LAV-2. I'm looking real quick. Yep, they made all of the LAVs. By the way, do you guys know what LAV stands for?
Nope.
Negative.
Light armored vehicle.
Light arm. Oh, good. Martin knows his shit.
I'm an aficionado of weaponry.
And the LAV-2 has been surpassed. There is a new vehicle. It's faster and runs as quietly, and the vehicle runs on run flats.
What? I need to see that.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, so I don't know all those details.
By the way, I cannot express how much I love the Ospreys, and
Yeah.
and how much I was disappointed in the way they portrayed it, because the Ospreys do not fly like that.
I looked them up. They're pretty cool.
Yes. Those vehicles are. They are to a helicopter like M1 Abrams is a Sherman. Is to a Sherman. Oh, here. They got to the extraction point. Everybody's dead except for one guy.
Because he's hiding under a bathtub.
Yep.
A ceramic bathtub.
Oh yeah, but you know,
I thought
they
it was,
told you that after. I thought it was a metal bathtub.
me too. I thought it was
Everything.
lead or something, you know? Yeah.
Well, some of the old bathtubs also used metal underneath the ceramic.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the ceramic wasn't strong enough to hold up the bathtub. So they could use thinner ceramic with a metal base.
Oh, I hear that. I hear that, little girl.
Yeah,
But
that's
it
Rocket
was
Kitty.
obviously a barrier because the guy was alive and everybody else there was dead.
Yeah,
Right.
but, it has a. It was a plot hole. It has a plot hole because the specters, they can cross walls, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to believe then that they do not fall through the floor because they can cross solid objects only by will.
Yeah.
What surprised me is that clearly he
wait,
survived
wait.
because he was hiding under that, but they didn't investigate why.
Wait.
Why couldn't they
So-
find him while he was under there?
Yeah.
They just let it
These
slide.
inspectors, when they want to, they can go through the floor. They could
I
have
was-
gotten that guy coming from below.
and I'm sitting there watching those things step into the chunks of iron in that one part where they're in that building surrounded by
And that's
it.
really cool.
Yeah, it's cool, but I'm thinking, why aren't they jumping over this? I don't understand. Because you see them jumping like they're friggin'
Yeah, because
acrobats all through the
they
movie.
can
you
they
know?
can jump very high, but they cannot
Mhm.
fly. But yes, they could
Mhm.
have jumped over that barrier.
Yeah,
They're
you're
not
right.
very
It's got
wise.
some plot holes.
They're not very bright.
Yeah.
So
It's got some
this is the new vehicle. It's surpassed and basically took over for the U.S. Army as the new. It's even in the name, the QRF-V. QR
But it's
part of that is QRF is Quick Reaction Force Vehicle. That's what
okay.
that
That shit is
QRF-V stands for.
that is an Indian vehicle.
Yeah, but this is used by the U.S. Army. I'm just showing you a good picture of it.
That
Jesus
shit
Christ.
looks like a Decepticon.
It's fucking crazy, dude. It's got the run flats, so you can blow out those tires all you fucking want. They'll keep going, and it's really amazing. They got a mounted. You can have a 50 on there, but often they have the M240 because the Marines love this fucking thing. The Marines love it because they can go right up into a combat area and just fucking lay into them. And they're not having to use the slat armor on these either. So that's another thing that they appreciate not having to do anymore. The slat armor was designed to protect them from RPGs and IEDs. The way that this vehicle is made is it has an angled bottom designed specifically to repel IEDs. And with
Yeah,
the run flats, they can still keep moving.
the blast gets deflected at an angle of 45 degrees, so the crew doesn't have to suffer the.
But I love that they put the what it is made for in its name, the QRFV, because that's what the Striker was being used for.
The
So
fuck you
instead
truck.
of calling it a light armored vehicle, they said call it what it is. It's for QRF, Quick Reaction Force. Okay, I love the effects in this, and that the ghost fell into these guys, killing them. Went out the window and just killed the guys on the road. And Max Martini's one of them, and he survives it. And the only thing they learn later that protection is the ceramic armor. So they develop new uniforms to put on. Thank God they had a seamstress.
I have my problems with the visuals and the props of the third act. Yeah, the general says, "No, I just grabbed whatever shit I could bring, and
They MacGyver
then
there, yeah.
everybody, then everything is super hi-fi,
It should have
techy."
been, they should have requested something and have it dropped in. That's how they should have done that. They knew what they needed. We need this drop, and then they drop it because a lot of people don't know this, but in every hotspot in this world, on this planet, there are special teams stationed within 2 hours. That's a fact. A lot of people don't know that. So you can actually have needed gear dropped within 2 hours of wherever you're at.
Yeah, I mean, the weaponry, I can accept that it's because it was
Well, they would
all
have
slapped together.
requested they could have requested the material to be sent to them. They could have put it together.
Yeah. But yes, but the weaponry is all slapped together by this engineer, and I can go to a certain extent with the way it looks. But the uniforms, they should have fought with their standard uniform because the new uniform didn't do shit for them. They were dying right and left.
What left the face exposed?
No, this
Yeah.
no.
Watch that battle at the end. Got half the guys had their fucking visor up.
So what you're saying is their ineptitude in battle is what killed them. Gotcha. They didn't use the equipment properly. Damn it.
They should have had facial armor at the end, and each person should have painted their own personal motto or something on there so you could identify them, who was who.
I thought the visuals and special effects were really cool.
Now he says leave the camera, but that camera has to come because they're going to need it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not to mention that there's the only evidence that they can analyze.
Yeah.
Oh. Who's gonna be the Malcolm McDowell's character in that remake?
Malcolm McDowell.
Would be nice. I have no objections.
Now, he's much older now. But it would be nice if he does a
Good.
cameo in the film as somebody. So I
Did
love
you
Malcolm McDowell.
He survived the first movie.
Oh, he should be a whole different character. No, he didn't. He fucking died. Directed from a fucking rocket. She's a good actor, too. Everybody in this film are solid actors. And what I find sad is that it didn't get, it had what would be referred to as a limited theatrical release. It just needs to show in a handful of theaters to be considered for awards.
I didn't know it was in theaters.
I do
I only
believe they
knew.
did a limited. Let me go look. I could have sworn I remember seeing.
No, I thought it was just made for Netflix for streaming.
This might be before they learned, because Netflix learned that they couldn't. According to research results, Spectral was initially scheduled for theatrical release in August of 2016, but Universal and Legendary Pictures ultimately transferred the distribution straight to Netflix. So, yeah, it did not hit. And Netflix learned a powerful lesson doing this because they cannot put one of their films up for Oscar nominations unless it's had a limited theatrical release. So it was in between 2016 and 2018 when they learned that. So I remember Keith and I did a show talking about that.
Yeah. I always
They
wondered
made a
about
lot of mistakes. They made a lot. And one of the other ones they made a mistake at was buying other people's films instead of producing their own. Because they slap their name on it and act like they produced the film, but they didn't. They're just a distributor. So they learned quickly that was problematic also. So that's when they bought a studio and started producing their own films. And part of that problem is down the line, they lose the rights to this eventually.
Is that right?
Yes, Legendary and Universal own the rights to the film. They produced it. So eventually the rights revert back to them. That's why you'll see every once in a while, this movie is leaving Netflix.
Right.
Yeah, at this point, even the
Here comes the
better,
iron.
they're tricking the audience into think that these are ghosts, even with the iron thing,
Yeah.
because it's in the lore that ghosts have problems with iron and shit.
The
And then,
locals are calling the ghosts of war, right? Yeah. They're trying to give you that mindset. Turns out they are spirits of a kind, but we'll find that out later.
They are spirits in the material world. The
There you
police.
go.
They're not spirits. They're more like
Said like a
avatars, man.
true police fan. I love it. Yes.
Now, what it is in the end, you find out, spoiler, these things are actually the central nervous system is kept
That's
alive.
somehow being kept alive. Yeah, it's horrifying when you
it's-
find that out
it's-
at the end.
Yeah, that's pretty.
The
And
body falls
the-
apart, but the
They have used technology to absorb everything about that person into their everything. They've been scanned into like Tron level, scanned
Mhm.
into and absorbed into the system. And their central nervous system is kept alive in a little refrigerating case. And the most horrifying part is they then use a special 3D printing system
I thought
that
that was
uses.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, what was it called? I forgot. It's something plasma. I can't remember.
No, condensate. Bose-Einstein
Condensate.
condensate.
Mhm.
Yep, they use that to 3D print these things, and they appear alive. They look like the person. It's horrifying what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they discover also or believe when they look at the impulse readings on the systems, reading that these central nervous system is alive, the brain is alive. Not Martini, James Badge says they're in pain. He says everything about this shows pain, those readings,
Right.
because they're spiking, constantly spiking and moving. And the only thing that does that in the human brain is pain. That's something I learned in medical field, because your brain has resting periods. But when you see spiked activity like this coming out of a human brain, that person's in pain or in fear. So they unplug them. I
That's the only
thought that
thing
was
they can
brilliant.
do.
Yeah. Because she's
He
like,
doesn't-
we have to save this for the research. And he goes, we have to do the right thing. He goes, this
You have
is
to
the right
consider the
thing.
bigger picture. And he says,
Right.
I do.
But
Not many words made, and that's good.
yeah, but
And
lately,
then she agrees with him.
yeah, she agrees with him in that moment. But later, you see, no, we're sending either way an engineering team to reverse engineer this shit. So-
They do. And that would have been, for me, the third film when that goes awry.
Oh, there's
Right.
absolutely material for a sequel there.
Well, there should have been 3 films. The first film should have been all the way to their surviving that fucking city. And the moving towards that base, and it ends there going, well, what are we going to do now? These things are spreading, and then that's the end of the movie. And then you get a second film, and then the third film is them having to deal with this shit when they reverse engineer it and things go awry because, as you know, Murphy's Law.
Right.
Fuck around and find out.
That's it.
I think fuck around and find out should be called Cockham's Law. I just made that up, right?
Good stuff. Makes perfect sense to me.
Because in English, fuck up is called a cock up.
Cock it up. Yep.
That's right.
Mhm. Don't cock it up.
And I feel bad that the little boy dies. And by the way,
that sucked.
there
That
is
It
a
wasn't
freak-
needed.
I was hoping that
it
these
was meant
things
to be
were like
sad.
some way intelligent to where they were only attacking people with weapons. I thought maybe that would have been a cool twist to it, but no, they wipe out the kid. I'm like, what? No, that's
Oh, there's a reason. The death of the kid is what makes him reflect on the ceramics. Because the kid was looking for the tag that his father has that was made of ceramic.
Mhm.
He died getting that tag, and that is what made him think about that. And that was ceramics, iron. Oh fuck, these are condensates.
Martin, I'm going to send this in the private chat. We might want to share this. And we're halfway through right now. That is the prequel comic that was made.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know about that.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I read it. I got a digital copy of it and read it. It's pretty good.
Okay. Got it ready. Tell me when you wanted to.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Go ahead, dude. Yeah.
Okay. Pause it.
Pausing now. There.
Boom, baby.
Good.
This thing
You can see some of
doesn't load.
the pages over on comicbook.com. It was around 2016 when all the woke leftists started taking over the magazine. But you still got some good stuff in here every once in a while. And this is one of them where they talked about this comic book. And I like that the artwork is done in such a way that it
What is it?
looks like the movie. They use the actors' faces.
The girl. Oh my God.
And that's her little brother that dies.
She looks exactly.
It's got that Stranger Things kind of feel to it.
You see, there's an inspector, but they shouldn't be able to see it. Oh no, they're not seeing it.
They're just feeling them.
Mm-hmm.
They're feeling
And they
that
say
something's there.
kids can see spirits and shit. So there's a possibility that they can kind of see movement or something there.
You get the feeling when the boy tells them about the things that he has seen them. So yeah, I do believe some kids at least are able to see them.
Which falls right under the whole thing about kids being able to see ghosts.
Yeah.
So that's why they get tricked. They're so easily tricked by these things. And let's get that started back again. I also gave you the Weta Workshop video, but if we show it, no audio with it.
And
And I would suggest speeding it up.
1.5.
I would do 1.5, even 2. Fuck it,
Oh,
move it to 2.
shit. Okie dokie. Let me share the screen without audio.
And by the way, one of the soldiers is played by the military advisor.
Oh, nice.
Look, man, these guys are also actors usually. These military advisors. Dale was too.
Okay. Do you want me to bring it up or at the end?
Let's wait till the end.
Okay.
That's reminiscent, right? We got movement, reminiscent of Aliens right there.
Yeah. The whole thing with having a motion detector, him running around with that big ass camera so they could see him and stuff. Yeah, that was straight out of Aliens, I thought.
And by the way, do you know who the military advisor was on Aliens?
Negative.
Apon.
Really?
Yes, he was the military advisor. He's a Vietnam War vet.
Wow.
I was kind of pissed about it because Cameron used Dale Dye early on and then never gave him the job.
Wow.
And that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. Same kind of shit Spielberg does.
Yeah. Makes you feel icky. Just using people like that.
Yeah, you know what makes me feel icky? Swamp ass.
Thanks for the visual. Ugh.
Army, Marines, worst enemy, swamp ass.
Swamp ass, no doubt.
Because out in the field, you fucking get it like crazy.
Remember the episode of SEAL Team where they are stuck in the house with the ACs not working?
Get
And
swamp
Chase says,
ass.
yeah, let's report it. Team Bravo has swamp ass because that's all they have to report.
it.
That's nothing.
There hits a point where it's like, man, I don't know if I'm wet from a fart or if it's just sweat.
Oh my
either
God.
way it goes, I fucking hate it.
You
No,
can
seriously,
stop being so
this
gross
is a
now, Gerry.
complaint. This is a complaint when you're out in the field, man. It's like, God damn, man, I got swamp ass bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Clayne Crawford dies in this scene, doesn't he? Or did he make it all the way to the end?
Don't remember.
Because he's one of my favorite characters in the film.
Who?
Clayne Crawford's character.
Don't know who that is.
Clayne Crawford from Lethal Weapon.
Oh,
plays
yes, he
Sergeant
survives. He
Colt.
survives.
He did
Yeah.
survive. Okay.
Yeah, he makes it.
Yeah, and the actor you were talking about is Gonzalo Menendez. He plays Captain Marco Cabrera.
Cabrera.
Oh my God, Stephen Root's character's name is Dr. Mandala. Like the
Oh my
Mandela
God.
Effect. I like that with Coughlin's Law.
Hoglin's Law. Who said that?
No,
Math.
Oh,
I would call it the cock-up law.
I would call it
Or cock-up razor.
I
Razor.
hate that movie. I hate
Cock-up
that movie.
razor. What?
Now you got to remember, I was a
Oh,
bartender for
Cocktail?
years.
Yeah.
Yes, that movie's
Look,
bullshit.
man,
The
it was
only,
a terrible film.
the only
And it
realistic,
also brought about the worst Beach Boys song ever made.
right? The only realistic things in those movies is the first night he bartends. That's realistic, where he's wringing his socks out at the end of the night and he gets pissed at the waitress for not ordering a rum and coke, you know, because he doesn't know what he's doing. That's realistic. The other one is how much money he's making down in the Bahamas, because those guys make bank. They really do. They make a lot of money down there. That's the ultimate bartending job, is those resort bartenders in those rich people resorts, you know. But the rest of that movie is bullshit. When he gets up there and starts spouting poetry in a bar with 1,000 people in it, all wanting a drink, and there's only 2 bartenders in the entire place. First of all, when they staff for things like that, it's 1 bartender per 100 people. Okay, if you got 1,000 people can get in there, there's 10 bartenders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'd have been throwing shit at him, telling him to get off the damn bar. God, that movie's bullshit. Anyway, sorry, I got triggered there. An old vet of the
I love this device, the way, and again, they open it and he shows how you can reverse this. And all of it had to look like it was functional and does what it says it does. Weta did an amazing job on the prop making for this film.
Yeah, that whole
I still
thing.
love it, don't care. You mean you're a fan of Cocktail?
Yeah, just remember, it's the perspective of a guy that was a veteran of the industry. Okay, if you love it, I'm not going to poo-poo you. You love it, go for it.
All I know is it's great to finally meet somebody who loved that movie.
Right. Oh man.
I remember because that movie came out while I was a night auditor,
Mm-hmm.
and Charlie Bruce and I worked together, and
Yeah.
we would just sort of make fun of it all the time. We'd do little bits behind the counter before he had to leave, because I worked from 11 to 7. He'd work till about 11:30, 12 o'clock to hang out, just so we could hang out. And we'd have customers coming up to the counter, and we'd do gags from that fucking movie because it was so stupid.
Yeah, it's silly. When you really think about it, it's a depressing movie too. It really is.
And that song, Jesus, I hate that
Yeah,
song.
it was, the Beach Boys must have been it's money, right? It's just ugh.
It became a massive hit. I think it was their biggest hit.
Yeah,
that
it
fucking
was.
song.
Commercially, yes, it was.
Martin sent that to me.
Yeah,
Oh my
man, that's
God.
another level.
That's funny. Here, I'll post it. And if I did I not mention that we got Mike Barron and Richard Bonk and Chris Braley from Bleeding Fool magazine this Friday. So Madonna
you
is
did?
16, dating a 25-year-old. She's officially past cougar and achieves saber-tooth tiger status. Super Saiyan for horny old women.
I think you were talking about that pre-show, buddy. I think because you were showing us the thumbnail for it. Yeah.
Oh, was that before the show? Okay.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was before the show.
Mhm.
So we're going to have Mike Barron, comic writer, Punisher, all that shit, Batman. There you go. This is his and my buddy Richard Bonk's new book they're working on, Sherlock Holmes. I think it's Sherlock Holmes versus the Leviathan. And it's going to feature Captain Nemo and the Nautilus in it. This is
Nice.
absolutely steampunk. I fucking love this shit. So we're going to have both the writer and artist on this Friday for TGIF, and we're going to have Chris Braley from Bleeding Fool magazine because he is the guy running the campaign for him. I do love the effects in this. I really do.
Dude, they did a great job on the special effects. All the practical effects and the CGI are really effective, man. They did a great job on this movie. Hats off to them. They did a great job on this. Said it had a limited theatrical release. I was like, wow, I wish I'd have known it was out. I'd have loved to have seen this on a big screen.
Yep. Martin, that's like Dick's Drive-In in Seattle. It's a joke. I use it in the book, Vindicated, because it takes place in Seattle. And Detective Frank Tedesco says, man, I'm so hungry, I could eat a bag of dicks. And she says, I'm not going to respond to your filthy humor, but I know what you want. Let's head over to Dick's Drive-In. What I love about this is he's not a soldier, but he's comfortable in the military setting. He doesn't show fear. I mean, he shows fear, but he's not held back.
Not
by
panic. He has rational fear, but not panic.
Yeah, because that's what we talk to people. Courage under fire doesn't mean you're not afraid. Courage under fire is being afraid and still fucking doing it.
Right.
Well, at the beginning, when he's teamed up with the soldiers, one of them says, I'm not comfortable having a civilian around. So unless you're carrying a weapon, you're not coming with us. And he has no problem carrying a weapon.
He's like,
He
I
says,
have no problem carrying a weapon. No problem at all.
Tells him
Fine,
straight
I'll
up he
carry
has
one
no
then.
problem.
And then he whispers into Max Martini's ear, Delta trained me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Both of them went through Dale Dye's boot camp. You both know how to field strip weapons. It's great. And they have, again, I put it there. Max Martini, more than anybody, it has that fucking military bearing. He did a movie not too long ago. I say that a few years ago, where he's a combat veteran coming back to the U.S. and takes off on a cross-country motorcycle ride on a fucking Harley. I love that movie. I enjoyed the crap of it. Dealing with his PTSD. Good fucking movie. And by the way, this is the beginning of November Sci-Fi month. We're going to be doing several sci-fi films throughout the month. One of them,
Okay.
including Blade Runner. What I'm hoping is that I can get a digital copy of the White Dragon cut to do a slideshow from.
Guys, can you check out if we're up on Rumble?
Yeah, I'll check it. Hang on. I've got my stuff open right now. See the pop. And
I didn't see anything pop
that
up.
usually means there's something playing. So
I didn't see anything pop up, Martin. Did you see something?
Yeah, there's no
You got-
error.
No,
You got-
it's because I went to Rumble and the show was frozen, but it's
Oh.
moving again, so it must have been my browser. So
It's
Okay.
playing. You got 4 people watching according to my app. So there you go. There you go. Easy squeezy, simple pimple.
Yeah. dude, the acting that Greenwood does here, just with the look on his face of the fuck happened. I don't know anything. Because now they discover that their base got overrun. Everybody's dead from.
Base is compromised. Yeah.
No, it's overrun. At this
Yeah.
point, the general said, "No, we're not compromised. We're fucked."
Yeah, if you'd have gone back to the headquarters, you'd be dead too, right?
We were 240. Now we're 19. Oh my god!
Boom. Yeah.
That's a serious what the fuck moment.
Yep, it's working. I checked on Rumble too. So quiet. Are you guys here? You get kicked?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a camera
This
going
guy
with
was
a-
in.
I'm
Oh
doing
my
what
God.
Gerry does, multitasking.
Battle Los Angeles. He was the corporal that his brother had died under the command of.
Oh, yeah. Good movie. Not great, but a very good military film.
Filmed
Crazy
right
as
here
fuck.
in Shreveport, Louisiana. As a matter of fact, my stepson David, who was also a military policeman, he was fresh back from Iraq, and really struggling with PTSD, and he thought he was having flashbacks because he drove near downtown when they were setting off.
Oh, God,
pyro
yeah,
guns
right.
up.
You told me about
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
It's like what the fuck's going on? Is this in my
He
head?
almost wrecked his car. Yeah, it was. Yeah. That's a great movie. It was filmed right here in Shreveport. Yep.
I tell people that if you want to see what certain forms of PTSD look like, watch the scene in Terminator, the first Terminator, when the guy comes to the door. Hey, you got something in there? It smells like something's dead. Fuck you, asshole. You know, it's got all the shit reading
Yeah.
out in the lines and like best responses. You get something like that when you are a combat vet who's been outside the wire, and you like it's threat assessment. It never goes away. You're constantly assessing, and it'll never leave you. Once that's put in you, unless you have some sort of deprogramming done, you were going to do that the rest of your life. And so, picture driving down the street and you see trash bags along the side of the road, possible IED.
Oh, yeah.
People walking across the bridge, possible threat assessment of, could fire an RPG, could be an ambush, just everything. And it never leaves them.
Yeah.
These guys that have been through that shit.
Mhm.
And I fucking understood the way, what was going on in their brain. Like, it's fucked up that part of the job that just becomes ingrained with you, second nature.
Mhm.
And how do you get rid of something that's second nature?
You can't.
And that's why I tell people that the military should do a better job of helping these men. Look, man, the military is good at training them to do what they do, which is kill people and how to assess situations. They have no fucking idea, nor should you expect that of them to deprogram them.
Yeah.
Because if they do, they'll make a fucking mess of it. I
Yeah.
said civilians.
It's better that civilians that have studied things like this do that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Civilians need to be the ones that help them.
Yeah.
Ah, look at
We
that.
have-
Getting some love there, Anima. From my buddy Glenn. Glenn, who is a co-worker with me
Hey,
at
Glenn.
Warriors Incorporated. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that we work together. By the way, I don't know if you've heard from Julia. I wrote her last week, and I'm assuming she's busy. She hasn't responded to my last email, so I'm hoping this afternoon to shoot her another email to ask if she got my last email. Got some solid good people, man. I tell you, I love our audience.
They are the best. We wouldn't be shit without them.
Yeah,
They
just
really are.
be a bunch of people just talking nonsense.
That's it.
And I told Anima, my favorite thing to do is interact with the chat. I like interacting with them. It's fun.
That's how I got stuck on this show as a viewer at first, because you interact with chat so much, and I really like that.
Yeah, I
That's why kept
posted
coming
that.
back.
I posted that video clip of you and me the first time we met. And you can tell, man, I was taken.
What do you mean? When I came on the show first?
Yeah, when you came on the show first, man, I had already kind of fallen in love with your eyes. So I'm like, fucking Danny's like, those are come hither bedroom eyes. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That is stay the fuck back looking eyes. Look at those eyes. Keep your distance. Right, Martin? Look at her eyes in her thumbnail or avatar. Those are sexy come hither. Those are stay back, I'm dangerous. Ah, man, I was
Did you
so
say so?
fucking
I was
so
so
attracted to that.
nervous, and it took forever for me to get the link.
Yeah, if you watch the video, you can see her constantly adjusting herself in the seat because she's so uncomfortable. And not physically, she was just like outside of her comfort zone.
I was so far
So-
outside. You have no idea.
So here we see them connecting two DVD players. That's what it looks like.
Oh, I like the part in which he uses a silicon gun like a drill, and it sounds real. It's a
Yeah.
fucking silicon gun.
This is so cool. What Weta did on their budget. You haven't heard from her? I emailed her last week, and I don't like bothering her because I know they're always busy. And of course, Dale just had his 80th birthday. God bless that man. I dread the day that we lose him. I do. I mean, Warriors Inc., Warriors Publishing will continue going because Julia's the one that runs that company. But God damn it, I'm going to hate it because that guy has been such an impact and influence on my life.
Well, he's a great
Since
guy.
1979. People didn't even know who the hell he was. He hadn't done anything for Hollywood. I knew him because he was the editor-in-chief of Soldier of Fortune magazine, which I read religiously as a kid with my dad. Yeah, what you need to do, Glenn, and this is my professional advice for you, is about every 8 weeks, send an email going, hey, just checking in. Hope everything's going well. And that's it. Because they may have something and haven't really moved forward with it. And you're letting them know, hey, I'm still out here. You might need me for something, maybe. Hit, nudge. Know what I mean?
Say no more. Candid photography.
I mean, you did tell her why you're looking for extra work, right?
No. She
No?
knows. She knows
Oh.
my life. I don't have to explain stuff. to her.
That's what I mean. If she has something, she will come to you because she knows how important it is right now.
I wanted to see that again. Well, it's changing the future. Here we go. Yeah, that's a great line. This is his speech. I think this speech would have gone better right before battle if this third act was done as its own 1 hour movie.
Yeah. Definitely. Because boy, ad hoc putting that together so fast, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this third act is too rushed for me.
Yeah.
And
seems
it
kinda
should have been
forced.
more
Yeah.
involved. We should have seen other missions trying to take place. You know, not just there on the ground one, but we should be seeing a story of air support, meeting new characters. They're going to be coming in there to giving them support. Because you get to see the Ospreys. But if you're going to send in Ospreys, you're going to fucking have air support.
Yeah.
You're going to have A-10s armed with plasma weapons that can disperse, at least do a little damage to these fucking things. I mean, that just looks so fucking cool. A-10s coming in. You know, that fucking... Oh, I love that sound. Because I told you I was there during the A-10 training sessions for Desert Storm. I got to see that. And I'm telling you, it's the most beautiful, horrifying sound you ever fucking hear.
Beautiful, horrifying.
Yeah.
Yes,
he
consider
said he
horrifying
didn't
to be
stutter.
very beautiful.
He did
Absolutely.
not stutter.
Because you don't ever want to be on the receiving end of that brrr sound.
No.
I watched an Apache with a mounted 50 Gatling fucking dust a building. They didn't destroy it, they dusted it. You know what that means?
Pulverized it.
Yeah.
Pulverized into dust.
And just to get a picture of it, the Gatling on an Apache are only 3 barrels of 20 millimeters. Only
still,
3.
And still has that same fucking sound. I mean, oh my God. Now, what I will tell you I hated is when they flew over and that hot brass lands on you.
Oh, God.
We got the shit burned out of us.
Bet.
I love the Weta again. I keep saying Weta. Weta did an amazing job. Look at these Osprey. They're all digital.
Yep, I know. Real Ospreys do not move like that.
It's not quite an airplane, and it's not quite a helicopter. What do you call it? An Osprey. An ugly bird? There's their weird fucking helmets. I think that the helmets should have been done better to give it more of a military look.
They just had gone with their regular uniforms.
Well, they should have had specialized, not Kevlar, but mesh helmets, which are basic ballistic helmets because they're made of ceramic. So it's ceramic. And oddly, you know, one of the places they go to for getting the material to make the ceramics? Recycled diapers.
Oh.
What?
Oh, wow, man. Woo.
The material in the commercial diapers, not cloth diapers, the like Pampers and shit like that. That is the material they use to make Kevlar.
Wow.
I did not know that.
That's why you love me so much, because I know stuff.
So basically, diapers are armor. Okay.
So
become armor. Look, let me tell you something. Kids piss in those things, and you let it sit for a day or two, you do not want to be hit by that thing. It's like a fucking rock.
Dude, I have 8 younger siblings. Don't forget that. There's nothing about babies that I haven't been through.
It's not like I haven't been in my own diaper battles.
Just because I don't have kids doesn't mean I don't know everything about babies. There's nothing that hasn't happened to me.
Let me tell you something. My son, Sean, I was going to change his diaper right after a bath, and I laid him down and I put the diaper up under his ass, and I turned to get some of the cornstarch baby powder. And as I reached for it, I grabbed it and I turned back, and like a fucking MX missile, man, that thing came up. And I knew it. Oh, and I tried to move, and he nailed me right in the face. Fucking pissed in my fucking face. And then my reaction made him laugh. He started cackling uncontrollably. It was so funny. You know how little kids laugh. It's so adorable. And I'm like, you little son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
I love taking care of my babies, man, my kids. I love doing that daddy shit.
You ain't a
I
parent.
was more equipped.
Change the diaper, bro.
I was more equipped to be a mother, but the problem is despite my ability to give emotional support, there's still that drill sergeant in me.
Right.
And so I was really good with the discipline. And I was so grateful my daughter said, you know, you're a great dad. You had that right mixture of funny, awesome, loving, and a fucking asshole.
But you got
now, these are the scans. These are the 3D scans that were done. I really like the way they did this.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. You got to know the level of discipline to give each kid too. I had to whip my son's ass. My middle kid, Bobby, all I had to do was talk to her sternly, and my youngest one, all I had to do was pop her in the back of the head to get her attention. But boy, the son, I had to kick his ass. Damn.
What's that called? There's a name for it now. It's the dude from NCIS. Gibson slap.
Yeah.
A Gibbs slap. Because I've done that with Zoe too. Just it's not meant to. You don't want to jerk their neck. It's just a brushing.
Just to get their attention.
Hair goes up in the air. You know.
My favorite example of it in pop culture is in Waterworld. When the little girl's waving at the smokers, and he smacks her in the back of the head and goes, "What are you thinking about?"
By the way, are you talking about the movie with Pierce Brosnan, Tom? I haven't seen that movie in years. I need to go watch that again. I think that's what he's talking about. That's a freaky movie.
Let's see.
So once again, despite the silly looking scuba looking uniforms, they move around. And look at that. It's so crazy. The bodies begin to collapse, but then something happens that they didn't expect as they do damage to these
condensates.
Spectral images, condensates.
Mm-hmm.
They begin to meld into one giant fucking giant fucking condensate. And it's like, holy shit, we didn't know they could do that. Why didn't somebody tell us that they could do that? So Max Martini's character, his character's name is Klein. He figures out.
Klein is a doctor.
Oh, then which one is it? Sessions.
Sessions, yes.
Captain Sessions. He figures it out and puts a bunch of the weapons together to make one big weapon and shoots this thing. Knocks him back. He goes flying when it fires.
But he creates inadvertently, and unbeknownst to him, he creates a problem because that detonation cracks the cells of the other condensates that were imprisoned.
And so they can break out. Yep. Because you learn that one of the scientists involved with this was on his way to unplug everything. And of course, it's a complicated plugging system to stop these things.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on his way to do it. And he got killed by these things. So it's once again science gone wrong. This is once again something that Dr. Ian Malcolm says in Jurassic Park. Your scientists were so preoccupied if they could do a thing, they didn't ask should they do a thing.
Should they do a thing? Yeah.
Not only that, they're making this super weapon that can be unstoppable, but the procedure to shut it down is suicidal, basically.
No button, you got to unplug a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
You need a kill switch. When you create something dangerous, you have to have a kill switch. And that's one of the fears of AI that they have is like you create an AI kill switch. If it becomes smart enough, it can rework.
Bypass it.
and
Yeah.
bypass it. And that's why you've got to be careful with real AI, not the stuff we call AI. That's not really AI. It's a misnomer. Script Doctor and I've talked about this, that what they're doing is just, it's all based on algorithms.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually create anything original. It collates. It's very good at collating this thing they call AI.
Absolutely.
It should be
It's not
actually
artificial
just
intelligence. Yeah.
instead of AI, it should be called like AG for algorithm or AL for algorithm. Either way, I love this double siding system. They have a holographic, two holographic um, uh, sights on there. One working as the aiming thing and the other one working as the seeing things. I fucking love that. Brilliant fucking move. And of course, it wouldn't have happened overnight. This is stuff that would have taken them weeks to plan out and do in real life. Even with a top-notch engineer, it still take weeks.
Right.
I love how they look like centipedes sometimes because of that echo movement of them moving. You see the traces following behind them. Oh, this scene is crazy. And I love how they kind of freeze in place and then begin to slowly fall apart.
Deteriorate, yeah.
I didn't know what was happening at first. I was like, are they stuck? Are they slowed down? What's going on? And then I saw they're falling apart.
No, the writers are not familiar with the concept of inertia. That is inertia.
I know what you meant. That the way I would have done it, just showing them moving, then just getting smaller and then becoming nothing.
They should have been keep moving at the same speed.
That's
But
what I'm saying is they should have kept moving and just disintegrate
yeah, because
the inertia's already started. Exactly.
Basically, at that point they are.
I love
they are
this shot right
planes.
here, by the way.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah.
But at that
But they were
point,
trying to
they are
pause it.
planes with the pilots dead. Oh, here's there you have. Oh,
I was trying to get back to where it was because I love
I'll
that
do it.
shot. I was trying to pause it.
Rocket Kitty.
Tell her to
look
shut
out.
up.
Yeah, she just woke
Yeah.
up and decided she needs to get on my lap. She's
No,
she's
let it
doing that more and more now.
That engine is running.
Well,
She's
you know,
like,
Loki was my lap cat, but now that he's gone, she's coming in my lap more and more, and I'm very thankful for that because I miss my boy.
gross.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that
pause
you
it
got.
there.
She picked him up today, and can you show the little paw print you got? I think that's so wonderful that they did that for you. They took his last paw print and made it art. For her.
Also, you see what they did with his name? They put a little heart over the eye. They're so nice. Very lovely people. They also give their condolences. Here's his print.
Very cool.
Hey, there's some really nice artwork behind you. What is that?
Oh, and look, she went right to it for it.
Yeah, Amelia loves it. Look at her. She's like, this is really good Star Trek artwork. Who did this? She looked in the corner to see the name.
I love that I have that now. I can't put it on the wall because I don't have real nails and it's heavy, but I think it sits nicely there. And it's in my background now.
Very cool.
Awesome sauce. Now, because of the explosion, all these cases have been exposed now.
What was it though that shattered? That wasn't normal glass because at first you couldn't see that there was a physical barrier, but when it shatters, it looks like glass.
It's called tempered glass.
Okay.
It has, I mean, we actually have now, thanks to Star Trek, we now officially have real transparent aluminum.
We do?
Yeah, it exists. It's now a
Awesome.
thing. And we owed it all to a little Scotsman who went, hello, computer, into a mouse.
Yeah.
Who says he didn't invent the thing?
That is my favorite Star Trek movie because it's so funny, especially when Kirk tries to cuss
Yes.
and Spock finds it colorful.
Double go to hell to you.
It's the cinematic.
I love Spock doesn't know how to use the colorful metaphors at all.
Right.
Oh yeah, he sucks.
Double
at that.
dumbass on you.
Yeah, that was a double dumbass. He's like, get out of the way, dumbass. Double dumbass on you.
that movie.
I think
Go ahead.
he did a lot of LDS back in the 60s.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
He screwed up. It was supposed to be,
LSD.
clearly
Yeah.
in the writing, the writer, I don't know if that was Leonard Nimoy or Nicholas Meyer, but that is such a great fucking moment where he says did a little too much LDS, which means Latter-day Saints back in the 60s.
Oh man.
There we go. See the centipede effect?
Yeah.
On
The
that
Voyage
bottom one?
Home is the cinematic equivalent of The Trouble with Tribbles. It's just a fun show, man. It really is.
And one of the things I love most about it is the theme has a Christmas feel to it, making the film have a Christmas feel to it.
I actually saw them shooting the scene where he's doling out the money on a street corner in San Francisco. I was stationed at the Presidio. That was my last posting in active duty. And we were in a van on a way to a mission, which at that point I was just doing military funerals up and down the West Coast, the dress blues and the 21 gun salute and everything. But we were passing by the intersection that they were filming it at. And we actually saw the cast, and I was like, "Holy shit, man! That's
That'd have been so fucking cool, dude." Hell yeah!
You know what, guys? I actually saw Tom Cruise on top of the Vienna State Opera because that was my way back home from work, and everything was closed, so I had to walk along that street, and I saw all these people. So I approached a group of girls and asked them, "What's going on here?" And she points to the roof and says, "They're filming a Tom Cruise movie up there," and it clearly was him because he was short guy.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
This is the shot right here. This is one of my favorite moments in the film. He's looking into the eyes of this dead person.
And they
Who's
are
been
people.
turned.
These
They were based
people
on
that
real
were alive.
people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That were converted and printed into condensates.
Wow.
To be piloted like an avatar remotely.
Yeah. by their central nervous system, their brains.
And they did that to create basically indestructible soldiers.
Because you can just, if you find a way to destroy that one, it just gets reprinted.
No, not only that. Just remember that the fallen condensate, they reconstituted themselves.
Yeah. That's what created that big one.
Yeah.
Remember? They were all starting to recreate themselves.
So they do a really good job here showing how the nerves move throughout the human body. So I expect Weta to do this shit right. It's wonderful. The minute he unplugs it, it just begins disintegrating. It's the fluid. And this is that moment where she's like, we need to save these, because he begins unplugging it. And he's like, "You're not thinking about the big picture." And he goes, "I am totally thinking about the big
totally
picture."
Thinking about it. Yeah.
And you see right here is a very good image showing that spiking that you're seeing on the neurological readout. And the only way to get spikes like that is to be in fear or in pain. Because otherwise it should be a curved lines all the time. Rage can do it too. That's right. Rage can cause that.
I love that they didn't give him a speech or not many words needed. He just says, "I am thinking about the bigger picture," and then he starts unplugging them quietly. There's nothing more to be said.
And then she helps
subtle
him.
with it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she starts unplugging too.
Because
But
the writers we have
absolutely-
today would totally have given him a speech, and it would have been cringy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she's helping him just because she's thinking, this all this procedure is right down someplace
I
here.
think she wants to be done and get out there. That's why she's helping.
No, she still got to reverse engineering that. So
And there's Keith's favorite helicopter, the Black Cock.
oh my god.
He has to do
You
that.
sick bastard. Oh.
So the guy on the left there is wearing his Mish helmet, aka ballistic helmet.
Boy, they kind of went overboard with them getting off the helicopter too, because they all look exhausted. And I mean, they went overboard with that a little bit, I think. You know.
She's
There's
like,
only a couple of places in here I thought that some things were forced. Like I said, the speech before the big battle seemed like it was forced, and because of time constraints and everything, and that part right there, I was looking at it going, do we really need to watch them all get off the helicopter this slow? I mean, this is almost Zack Snyder levels of slow-mo here.
I don't
now
know.
one of my favorite
would I go
films,
that far?
because that's Emily Mortimer, the female scientist, and she's a very good actor.
Is she
one of my
a
favorite
scientist
roles.
or just a translator? I
No,
don't
she's
know.
a CIA liaison.
I was fixing to say, yeah, she's working with, but she is a scientist. But boy,
She has a name, man. Fran Madison, for God's
There it
sakes.
is.
Quit treating her like a piece of meat.
I'm gonna treat her like a piece of meat.
He is
So-
really good in another little film that I like. It's the Mary Poppins Returns film, which I actually did enjoy for the most part. And she plays Jane Banks, all grown up.
Still haven't
adult
seen that
kids.
one.
It's worth a watch. I enjoyed it for what it was worth. I don't like the cocksucker that was plays Dick Van Dyke's character. Lin-Manuel Miranda. I don't fucking like that cocksucker.
Oh my god!
Don't like
Did you know what he's planning to do now?
Yeah, you and I talked about this already.
No, I haven't
go
talked
ahead.
about it with you.
Somebody talked about it with me. I thought it was you.
No, it must be Shanatsky. Man, the guy is going to destroy the Warriors.
Yep.
Oh my God! No.
Yeah.
Oh. Some movies do not need a remake.
No, fortunately, it's not going to be a movie. It's just a musical play, and it only exists as a record to the moment. So it's not going even to
he's
theater.
going to turn the Warriors into West Side Story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gender bender. Because all the gangs are female.
No, this is what I think it is. It's just him whacking off.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me too. Oy, hey, yikes.
So yeah, here we go.
Oops.
So this is the Weta video.
Here we go. That guy looks like the ultimate nerd.
I don't know if you've
Look at
ever.
that shit. Look at that.
Yeah.
Everything had moving parts.
It brought me back to my days at Bossier Parish Community College, taking electronics classes and building robots and stuff. It was pretty neat. Yeah, that the practical effects in this are really freaking cool, man. They are. That is pretty damn wild, bro.
Isn't it though?
There are so many great creatives in Hollywood, man.
And you'll
No,
see a
they're
girl
not.
so
These guys are in New Zealand.
Okay, watch this. Because you'll see the one young lady sewing this stuff together. There she is.
Give us a link to that in the chat so we can go watch it. It's pretty cool.
It is in the chat.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Post it again, Martin, please.
Oh, I will
In the
put
public
it on
chat, so
the
people can go watch
public
it.
chat. Yeah.
That's it.
Very cool, man.
And
is
that's
cool
really
stuff.
all you can find on
They rock.
YouTube on the making of this film. This film should have had a bigger fan following, in my opinion. I love this movie. And
Yes.
I absolutely believe that we got robbed by not getting a sequel to it, because it absolutely requires a sequel, because there's more to this story.
These guys,
We could even get a prequel.
Well, there's the
these
comic.
guys- they made the props for Chappie, for the one with Matt Damon, Elysium. Yes.
Elysium.
What was the other one? Oh man, I can't remember.
They're good at what they do.
District 9.
District 9? Yeah. Grungy realism is what it looks like to me. You know, kind of like George Lucas's vision of the original Star Wars, a world that's been lived in, you know, stuff that's realistic, you know.
You can also go to wetaNZ.com, and they've got a store. You can buy stuff from them, little sculpts and shit. Fucking amazing. I love what they do.
Yeah, this had a good cast.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. They have a line over the E, and that means Weta. But I thought the insect that they're named after is called the Weta. The little cricket, grasshopper.
Interesting. Because, yeah, the line over it means a strong vowel sound. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so here you go. Is it? Share screen. It's in their fucking logo. The logo's up in the top left of their screen.
Well,
it's E with the line, straight line over it, and a line over the A.
Could be an extension of the T, though, Garrett.
Yeah,
there's a straight
that's
line
what,
over
what
the
it
A,
looks to me.
too. There's a straight line over the A, too. Yeah.
It's not. It's separate.
If you consider that A a strong sound, it'd be wheat A. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's just both lines are disconnected from the T. They're not connected. I think that's weird because the insect is the Weta.
Well, there's only one way to know this. We have to interview somebody in that company.
There you go.
That would be so cool.
Well, let me go to that page. Products, Hobbit motion picture, Tomb Raider. Look at all this shit. The Witcher, Kiss. Oh my God. Gremlins.
Did I just see Dark Crystal in there?
Yes, wow. That's the Netflix TV show.
That's
a
right.
limited
That's
series.
Right.
Did you see it? That shit.
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Really? Cool.
Yeah. If you like Dark Crystal, you should watch that.
I did like the Dark Crystal. I didn't know they had a Netflix show of it. That's cool.
Everything you're going to see there is physical.
Oh, I like their t-shirt. Be creative, make cool stuff.
There you go. There you go.
That's cool.
That is cool.
They're a very good company that was created out of necessity, the same way George Lucas created ILM.
Right.
You know, the New Zealand guy, I just forgot his name. The Lord of the Rings.
Peter Jackson.
He created What If Workshop. Hired these people, put them together. Got to go, Glenn. See you later, buddy. So that's it. Showed you the one cool video available. There is another video on YouTube of Adam Savage. Did I add that one?
No.
Let me go get that.
Yes, please.
Here it is. Here's the link to that, Martin.
Okay, up.
And I think I saw something else. No, that's just Blade Runner. I had a nice little debate discussion last night and this morning with a gentleman that I follow over on Twitter. I like the guy. He doesn't have a big enough following, in my opinion. He deserves a better following. Not that the people that follow him now aren't good, but better meaning bigger following.
Right.
And I basically stood my ground with him on Ridley Scott needing to sit in an executive producer seat and nothing else. He needs to rely on other people to be creative, and his ideas need to be rejected for the most part, because everything that he has done that he had control over has turned out to be crap when it came to sequels or prequels. I'm not excited about the new Blade Runner 2099 or whatever the fuck he's calling it, 2089. I'm not excited about it at all. Everything that's come out of Blade Runner 2049 itself, I really don't think is good, as it should have been. The only thing I enjoyed on that was the shorts, the little short films. I liked those. Those were good. The movie comes out, and I'm like, you set up instead of answering questions, you set up more questions.
Yeah.
And that's such a fucking J.J. Abrams thing to do.
Look, I'm not excited about Gladiator 2. I tell you that. Every ad I see for it with new footage, they're leaning way too much on the dialogue from the first one. It's, I heard "in this life or the next" on the last ad I saw, and I was like, "Come on, guys!" What
For
the
which
hell?
film?
Gladiator 2.
Oh no.
It looks
it is.
horrible, man. It
I
looks
love
like a
Denzel,
CGI
man. I'm not going to watch that fucking movie.
Yeah, I love him too, but he's obviously doing this for the money. It looks bad. It does.
So, again, today's show, we talked a little bit about Spectral. I enjoyed the film. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend watching it. I think it's a fun film. It's got a couple of little shortcomings in it. Now, a few, not a couple. But the fact is, overall, I think it's a solid film. And I love the performances by the cast. Really good cast.
I agree. It was a great movie. I thought it was really good.
I concur.
I concur.
Was it the
It's
first
my
watch for
word.
you, Joe?
What's that?
Was it the first watch for you?
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Yeah, I saw your post that you're doing your homework. I was
Yeah.
like, awesome, cool. But I didn't know whether you had to rewatch it because it's been a while, like Gerry,
Never
because he
seen
saw
it,
it in
no.
2016. So he
I have
needed to
not-
watch it with
I
me.
have not seen a lot of Netflix originals. I have not, and very few and far between do I watch.
Okay, this comes from a place of love. I like the movie. So, but I'm going to market the concept. We're going to kill ghosts with flashlights.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. That was the first time I had watched it, and I pointed out the few times I thought that it was a little rushed or contrived, but the rest of it. Look, the special effects are top notch. It's been a while since I've seen a movie with special effects that good. I mean, it all looked realistic, you know. But boy, it's sure the place they were at looked like downtown Gaza, man. My God, everything was destroyed. It was ridiculous.
Well, they were in a war.
Right.
in that
Yeah.
country, so.
Yeah.
I
But,
like how the general says, if we don't stop the insurgents, this is going to be a civil war. Dude, I've just seen that city.
the hell?
This is the young man that I was having the debate discussion with about Ridley Scott.
I like his
And,
banner. That's one of my favorite pictures ever.
He's a really nice guy, really smart dude. We had an interesting conversation. I said, I'll acquiesce in the fact that I like a lot of his producing. My problem is when he starts to produce sequels or prequels to films is where it all falls apart. What I really liked with Ridley Scott is Raised by Wolves. I thought it was an outstanding series, and I was pissed that HBO didn't support it better and canceled it because it was intelligently written for real sci-fi fans. And what he did is he was executive producer, but he let his kids run the show.
Mm.
And his kids are very good. His kids are very good. It's in the blood, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact is Ridley Scott isn't the director in the family. Tony was. Tony's he understands structure. Ridley doesn't understand structure. He understands visual. That's what makes him one of the greatest cinematographers in the history of film.
And please,
Blade
somebody keep him away from the Alien franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he single-handedly ruined the new film because he pushed with the studio to have stuff included from Prometheus and Covenant. That was him. And it ruined the fucking movie. Having that bishop, having that as Ash instead of a bishop or a different model. Because Frank's still alive. I'm sorry, I called him Frank because of Millennium, but what is his name? He played Frank Black in Millennium. A great show. Once again,
Lance Henriksen. Lance Henriksen.
They could have done mocap with him. It's stupid. It looks so bad. And some of the things they added in there that were directly related to the goo. Done with that stuff. I thought it was terrible. That's why I hated the movie. I wanted to like it. Ridley needs to stay away from pushing. It's okay if he stays on as executive producer. He needs to stay the fuck away from the storytellers.
Yeah.
Because without him, I think that is what do you call it? Fiddling with things. It would have been a better film.
Without putting his fingerprints on it, it would have been better.
Yeah.
I've told you before, I checked out of that franchise after that god-awful third one. So,
yeah. Well, according to them, that doesn't exist in their canon. You know, third
amazing.
When they made the fuck up to kill everybody off camera.
Off camera, yeah. Come on, man. What?
It totally
We're invested in those guys. We wanted to see them again.
On the ending of the second film, Aliens.
Yes. She was the mother character. She saved the kid. Come on, man. What the hell?
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
What are you, Biden?
Oh, you asked for it.
What's your favorite ice cream?
Yeah, wait a second and I'll tell you. My favorite ice cream is
Sure, international effort to pressure.
Yes. That's the best quote ever.
What is that dog pony one?
you lion dog face pony soldier.
That's it.
Dog face,
You
pony,
lion face dog. Yeah. Dog face.
Dog face. Lion dog face pony soldier. That's a great way to address your voters.
Absolutely. So, but that's it, guys. Big day tomorrow. I won't be doing a show tomorrow, but I will be joining somebody who invited me tomorrow night. I can't remember who the fuck it was. To comment on the incoming tallies. I'm warning people. Absolutely, it should be a landslide, but we have a corrupt media who is actively working against one candidate. And they are absolutely preparing to gaslight and lie. Proof of it came with NASCAR race when they announced who won Pennsylvania early.
Yeah, that was funny. You know, these guys, they put it right out there, don't they?
People go, they're not doing that. The fuck they aren't.
The fuck they aren't.
They got caught red-handed.
Oh, we're just testing out our graphics. Well, then why don't you do that in studio, off the broadcast? You guys are just, come on.
I just hope that people have become more savvy to the gaslighting. That's all I hope. Because my fear is those people who are torn, that don't really understand what's going on, that they may get duped. But absolutely right now, we're looking at what should be potentially a landslide. And all I care about, as Robert F. Kennedy said, a Democrat that I could support easily. We need to make America healthy again.
Mm-hmm. And you know I'm a
What about
Tulsi
the
Gabbard
great
fan,
part?
and she's on board too. So
Yeah,
you know,
Tulsi Gabbard, I like her too. I've always liked her.
Yep.
You know, so telling you, man, I absolutely will vote Democrat if I get somebody who's not a leftist. And when I say
Come on.
leftist, I mean Marxist. I don't like Marxists. They're communists. That's all they are. It's not communism. It's democratic socialism. That's what socialism is. It's democratically elected communism. It's
We
The-
could go
the
on
correct-
about
that's
this.
what we were taught. In
We could
No,
go-
Gerry,
school.
Gerry, you're overthinking it. The correct answer is that is what a communist would say.
Yeah, that's what a
We
commie
could
would
go on
say.
about this for hours, but look, guys, just get out there and make your voice heard. Get
Yep.
out there and vote. If you haven't done it yet, I banked my vote last week. So
If
guys get
if
out
you're
there.
like me, you know, somebody who doesn't really believe in anything, cross those fingers, man. Cross them. I have to force mine because of arthritis. Yeah. But if you are someone of faith, absolutely say your prayers. Pray for this to turn out, because America's in trouble. We are in trouble right now in a way that we have not seen since the Great Depression.
I'm not
We're
going to do
in
my
serious
video game
trouble.
stream tomorrow night. I'm going to start at 10 like usual time, but I am going to be going over the incoming results. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow night. So
All right. So
if you want to come on there and jaw about it, come on, man.
once again, today's show we talked about was Spectral, and I hope everybody had a good time talking about this movie. I know
Recommend
we
it.
sure did.
Definitely.
Highly recommended. We're done here,
That's it. Show's over.
so we're going to get the hell out of here. I hope everybody has a good day today. I want to thank Sci-Fi Mombi, Tom Baker, Mephisto, Penny, Loki's Morning of Mischief, and Glenn Fleming for dropping into the chat. Have a great day today, and hope for the best. We're out of here, guys.